Hi everyone, it's Christina and I'm going to be sharing my thoughts today on how Crazy Rich Asians compare to the other 6 films we've watched so far. And then I'll give you the one I feel like fits best. So we're going to start with pair A. First, Harold and Maude. Crazy movie, just saying. So this one, they definitely like both defy like social norms, especially like because of the age gap in Harold and Maude. But Crazy Rich Asians is more social expectation as opposed to like, well, I guess it is norms, but it's really more of an expectation in Crazy Rich Asians, and it's less about like the shock value that Harold and Maude had. And it's more like family dynamic, cultural family dynamic, more or less, instead of just being like, wow, old, young, insane. Okay, and then Look Who's Coming to Dinner. It's more of like it's definitely stronger of a comparison. Both films for sure, partners are being judged for not fitting into like the family's traditional mold or what the expectation would be. But in Crazy Rich Asians, Rachel isn't seen as enough by Nick's mom because she's middle class, aka poor, and she's Chinese and American. So both films have like love that's like pushing against tradition, and they both are kind of causing their families to evolve. Okay, now on to pair B. Cool Hand Luke, boring. Is a film about, what did I say? It's more about resisting authority. In the words of Malcolm X, by any means necessary. Definitely refusing to like conform. There will be no get down or lay down type vibe going on. That's state property if you didn't know. Rachel's approach is more calculated. Well, okay. Crazy Rich Asians approach is more about, I don't want to say calculated, it's more measured, right? Like she's small. She's small to these people. So she's not like trying to break a system down or anything like that. She's more or less like challenging it and just by being herself, sticking to her guns and her own ideas of life. Dead Poets Society focuses on finding your voice. Now Rachel definitely does find her voice. She stands up for herself, kind of like reclaims her dignity or worth. But Dead Poets Society is like a tragedy. It's poetic, which is always tragic. And Crazy Rich Asians is more, empowerment. I don't know, triumph, joy for sure. And then last but not least, pair C. Pretty Woman. Okay. And Crazy Rich Asians. Okay, they both kind of have a lot in common. So they both like have relationships that cross class boundaries. Like you're in this class, lower class, upper class, middle class, no class boundaries. And both women are really facing like judgment on whether they belong in the environment altogether. Definitely not welcomed. It's in like upper echelon elite spaces. But in both films, both of the women prove themselves and how much they're worth. But only by like sticking to their guns and just being authentic, being themselves, being who they are, and they come out on top. A Knight's Tale. You know, these movies were very not my speed. But Harold and Maude was good. It was crazy. A Knight's Tale. Okay, so this is a good match. It was about. I'm sorry, I'm reading notes if I'm not looking. It's more about like rising above like the limitations of who you are, where you come from, and to just kind of like find your place within the bigger realm, or within the group or the family or the system. Finding your place, taking your place, claiming your place with pride for sure. And Rachel is similar to the Knight, underestimated for sure at first, but then at the end, she's the one with like the most sense and integrity and strength. So my final answer is going to be C. Crazy Rich Asians fits with Pretty Woman and A Knight's Tale. And I'll say that just because they're all about love, transforming class expectations, breaking through those, and not with like escaping or, I don't know, driving a car off a bridge, none of those things. Well, a cliff. It's more like with dignity and self-worth and just being yourself. So yeah, that was my take. I hope that was not too much. I appreciate you guys for watching.